The library? Come on, let's go in. Is this the evidence that proves it was Genocide Jack really in the library?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Yes. If I remember, on the other side of this door is the archive, right? Hurry up and go inside. Oh, here?
Let's go.
It all makes sense once you're inside. I've never been in this room though, because you never let me come in here. Whoa, there's so many books and files. And so much dust too.
So in other words...
I would say there's enough value in this place to endure the dust. If you pay attention to your surroundings, you should discover that value for yourself. Okay, he's not gonna help, so let's look around. There's the wooden box. It's empty. Although, judging by the smudges in the dust, it looks like there's something inside. Something of a circular-ish shape? I'm not sure what that is. I wonder what it was. There's an extension cord plugged in there. It proved very useful while I was in the library. An extension cord, huh? Huh? It's a desk lamp. Oh yeah, it's the same one I saw Byakuya using in the library before.
What?
Do you have any problem with that lamp? It was here before, then I moved it over there. It's too dark over there, so I thought I'd put it to good use. This shelf stuffed tight with files. Without really thinking about it, I picked one at random. Ah, you have a sharp eye indeed to select that file. Huh?
That's right.
That's the report on the presidential assassination. The original is kept at the National Library. It won't be classified for another 30 years. Are you sure you want to look at it now? There's no telling whose crosshairs you might wind up in for taking a peek at it. Without making a sound, I returned the file to the shelf. There's so many files stuffed on the shelf. What's in all these things?
That's enough.
Those documents are dangerous. Dangerous? They detail all the people who control the world from behind the scenes. Dangerous truths from a commoner. For a commoner. You mean like members of the Diet or something? No, I mean the ones with real power. The secret council controlling everything from the shadows. You mean like the Illuminati? If you're ready to be disappeared for it, take a look. There's some very interesting people in there. You're just kidding, right? Am I? I'll just let it go for now. There's a ton of thick files stuffed onto one bookshelf. If you're thinking of looking through any of them, let me know. Let me give you a warning. Those are filled with graphic, disturbing photos of all kinds of crime scenes. It's the kind of thing any normal person would ever want to look at. Be careful. What do you mean? All those files there are investigation reports related to different cold cases. Those are internal documents for police eyes only. They're not the kind of thing you'd expect to leak. Oh? So, are you finally beginning to understand the true splendor of this library? The entire reason I was interested in the library is because of this room right here. It's home to classified government documents, police records, things no ordinary person would ever see. Isn't it magnificent? This can't be for real, right?
Such ignorance.
That's your guys' problem. Anything that doesn't fit into your preconceived reality, you label it a lie. Well, it's not that, it's not like I totally refuse to believe it, but I mean, there's just so much. How could anyone have pulled all this together? I suppose it goes to show just how much power Hope's Peak truly wields, or perhaps. The mastermind may have wanted to provide us with enough entertainment to keep us from getting bored. It's no use, I can't keep up with all this. It's just too unreal. What's wrong? You still can't believe it. What about you? How can you believe it so easily? Things like that are usually impossible.
What?
What do you mean, usually? Usual, normal, ordinary, simple. Those things don't exist anywhere in the real world. If you don't understand what they actually represent, you don't understand the nature of anything. You don't pull your punches, do you? Besides, what you consider usual is based on your common sense, right? What makes you think your own common sense applies to me at all? The documents gathered here are genuine. I have reviewed them multiple times, so there's no doubt. Hold on a second. You're saying you've read all these documents more than once? But all this has to be top-secret confidential stuff, right? So why? My family has a reading room just like this at our home. Ours is bigger, of course, but not as dusty. Members of the Togami family have access to any variety of government-related documents. That includes foreign powers as well as domestic. How's that possible?
So, in other words...
I already told you, there's a secret council that controls the world from the shadows. My family is a member of that council. Whoa. And I have within me the bloodline that will allow me to one day bend the world to my will. But to become such a ruler, I must know all levels of this world backwards and forwards. So whenever I have time, I like to review whatever documents and materials that interest me. Which is why I can proclaim, without a doubt, that the materials gathered here are the real thing. This is beyond believing or not believing. Byakuya is actually starting to scare me more than the actual mastermind. And what always interested me the most were the cold case police investigation reports. Reading through those reports have always been a hobby of mine ever since I was little. It's excellent mental exercise. I've solved more than a few of those cases by just reviewing the reports. And among all those reports, one of my recent favorites is the Genocide Jack case. As he talked, Byakuya grabbed a specific file from the shelf.
That's right.
This is the complete file case file. Every single report surrounding the Genocide Jack cases have been compiled in here. Because there are so many, allow me to quickly summarize the main points. To begin, there are two notable characteristics in every Genocide Jack murder. The first characteristic is that every crime scene, the word bloodlust is written in the victim's own blood. And the second is that when the victims are murdered, their bodies are suspended in a certain way. Bloodlust is written in blood, and the victim's body is suspended. It's exactly the same as what happened to Chihiro. Save your surprise, the best part is yet to come. For the second characteristic, where the victims are suspended, the only ones who knew about that particular fact were members of the police and other higher-ups. By all accounts, nobody in the media ever found out. In other words, no one on the news, no one online, nobody knew about the aspect of each crime. Only key officials and the killer himself knew about the act of mounting the victim. Now, if you recall Chihiro's corpse, her body was most certainly mounted in this fashion. So, how could the killer have known about suspending the victim?
That's right.
That's the key question. But in fact, the answer is quite simple.
So, in other words...
The culprit isn't a copycat killer, it's the real Genocide Jack.
In other words...
That's right, there's evidence that Genocide Jack has hidden himself among the rest of us. Then, Genocide Jack really is... Such a brutal, fiendish killer really is walking around among us.
Interesting.
Things are really starting to get interesting, aren't they? I never imagined a killer with such a reputation would ever become part of our little game. Now, don't you think it would be good for you to take a look at what I've already seen? You might just manage to ferret out a clue or two.
Such ignorance.
If you get down on your knees and beg, I might even show you myself. Sorry, Byakuya, I'm not into that. Well, I mean, never mind. I'm not gonna explain that. Byakuya, about that Genocide Jack case file? Could you let me see it?
That's fine.
Well, he didn't beg, but I guess it's okay, this time. Feel free to look at it in here, but you can't take it with you. Byakuya handed me the file. I flipped through it with tense, nervous fingers. Suddenly, my hand stopped. I had reached the page where photos of the scene of the crime had all been collected. Oh, scissors. The names of Genocide Jack's victims ran on for several pages. Ken Harada, 32, Tetsuhiro Honda, 17, Shoji Gaku, 23, Kano Issei, 14. Takashin Yoshida, 30. Komatsu no Taro, Takefumi Gono, Uchida Naohisa, Takashi Masamune, Yuto Yomejima. There was no end to it. But one thing became perfectly clear as I read. All of the killer's countless victims were killed and suspended in exactly the same way. And at the scene of every murder, the word bloodlust was left in the victim's own blood. Now take a look at the next page and you'll find another interesting tidbit. The next page, profiling results. All the crimes took place either on weekdays at night or during holidays, either day or night. The most common time for the killings to take place was on holidays, in the afternoon. Based on these facts, it could be suggested that the suspect may be a student. Evidence suggests that they suspected lingered at the scene, but when they did leave, they were in a panic. That sounds a lot like Toko. I'm pretty sure it's her. Because an eyewitness has never come forward, it's unlikely there was any external reason for this. This confused behavior suggests that the suspect may potentially suffer from dissociative identity disorder. Yeah, that's what it's called. I knew it. Okay. So I was right. It is Toko then. She has no way of controlling her other side, and it just happens.
So in other words...
The key point here is that the culprit may as well have a split personality. A split personality, like the kind of thing you see on TV. So I'm part of another totally unbelievable story. I mean, it's extremely rare for people to even have a split personality disorder anyway, but it's still possible. But this one is way more unbelievable than anything else up until now. Or maybe it really isn't. I don't know, I feel like my mind has gone numb. Genocide Jack case file has been added to the truth bullets.
Let's go.
Alright, we should get going soon. Huh? Where are we going? Anywhere but here. We finished our business here, haven't we? Wait, Byakuya. As usual, Byakuya turned and left without another word. I hurried out of the library to catch up. Well, this is where we part ways. I have some things I need to take care of before the class trial. Huh? Just all of a sudden like that.
I don't have time to play with you.
Come on, enough of your annoying misapprehensions. Did you really think we'd be together the whole time? Take responsibility for yourself and do something useful. Move the investigation forward on your own.
Goodbye.
And just like that, he was gone. Just as quickly as he'd asked me to join, he'd cut me off. In the end, it felt like it was just some plaything getting tossed around. At the same time, I'd uncovered some really important clues thanks to him. Genocide Jack, he's the one that killed Chihiro. And that murderous fiend is one of us. Who is it? I have to find that out no matter what it takes. And to that, there's somewhere I have to go investigate one more time. I have to go back to the crime scene, the girls' locker room. I should check the boys' locker room too. And the others might have come up with some info I might find useful while I'm at it. I need to find out everything I can. Ding ding ding! Hifumi has discovered evidence revealing the identity of the culprit.
I feel as if...
Another stat increase for me. Evidence. What did you find? I cannot reveal that just yet.
That's it.
But I guarantee that I found what will steal the killer's breath from his lungs. Are you sure about that? Oh yeah, Miss Ludenberg said she'd witnessed something worthwhile too. Really? What did she see?
Well, it would seem...
She refused to tell me. It's like when a girl bullies the boy she likes, right? Right? Okay, so where's Celeste now? The warehouse by the dorms. She was there, but at the same time, not there. What's it gonna be? Okay, well I'll check that out after I search these rooms one last time. Oh yeah, hey, wait a minute! The posters have been switched. Because the girl one was in here, and I'm assuming this would be in the girls' locker room. This poster. It's a popular boy band named Tornado. Somehow it doesn't quite seem to fit the boys' locker room. This wasn't in here before. And that wasn't here either. There's a strange stain on the carpet. What is it? Hey Kyoko, have you made any progress on your investigation?
Indeed.
Generally speaking.
However,
But I have to get going. I have something unrelated to take care of. Something else besides the investigation? What is it?
well,
Nothing you need to worry about. Just concentrate on the murder. But
so then,
before I go, let me give you one piece of advice. You should examine Chihiro's body one more time, thoroughly. Also, her handbook is missing. You might want to determine its whereabouts.
goodbye.
That's it. I'll be praying for your success. With that, Kyoko turned and left. Kyoko said I should examine the body one more time. I know she said thoroughly, but I do have my limits. Well, I'd better give it a shot anyway. Let's see. Chihiro's hands are bound with what looks like some kind of rope. The rope was used to prop her up like some kind of crucifix position. Huh? This rope has a plug? An extension cable was used. Okay, so that's where that came from? They got it from the box in the library, I'm assuming? Wait, so then this isn't rope at all. But the more I think about it, the more that's not the only thing that concerns me. Chihiro's fatal injury was the blow to the head, which means someone struck her in the head in order to kill her. That's right, there's the issue of her being suspended, and the fatal blow. At first, I didn't see any reason to think too much about either of them. But seeing them again after looking through the Genocide Jack file, something's not quite right. What does this all mean? Well, the one thing most likely to tie all these mysteries together is the true nature of the rope that was used to suspend Chihiro. And to figure that out, there's a certain place I need to revisit to look over again. Plus, it might help to look at the Genocide Jack case one more time. That's right, there's definitely something strange about this. In the boys' locker room, there's a poster of a popular boy band. The girls' locker room, there's a picture of a girl in a swimsuit. Could the posters have been switched? What would be the point of doing that? But if there were, why? What reason would anyone have? Maybe I should talk to someone who knows a little bit more about the rooms. You spend a lot of time exercising in the girls' locker room, right, Sakura?
Of course.
I've used it nearly every day since it opened up. Sometimes he and I use it together. Okay then, let me ask you one thing. Do you think the poster in the boys' and girls' locker rooms could have been switched?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I can't really say. I never really paid attention to the posters. I see.
However,
But there is something that's been bothering me about the locker room. You see, I like to drink a little protein coffee every time I finish exercising. We have protein coffee? In the warehouse. It's not the highest quality, but I don't have a lot of other options. I mix protein powder with coffee, down a glass of it after exercising. Anyway, the other day I spilled some on the carpet in the girls' locker room. And it left a stain. But that stain's in the boys' locker room now. But I don't see any stain on the carpet now.
of course.
Exactly, I noticed it earlier. The stain has disappeared. I can only assume someone came along and cleaned it up. But still, isn't it unusually clean, as if there was never stain here to begin with? The wooden box is empty. The extension cord was in here before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got it from here. Huh? It's gone. What? Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who would do something like that. I can't think of anyone but Byakuya. It's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. But last time I saw it, it's definitely on. It was definitely right here. Oh, that's right. Byakuya was using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now, because it's been used to suspend Chihiro. Mm-hmm.
How unfortunate.
Maybe we should have confessed our embarrassing secrets after all. Damn it. I'm sorry, Chihiro. It's all because I wasn't strong enough. Don't blame yourself, man. Celeste, what are you doing here? This warehouse is amazing. It has absolutely everything one might need to live a full life. From food to clothes to towels, there's an endless supply to choose from. I see that, but have you found anything related to the case?
Most unfortunate.
I knew you were going to ask me that. I thought talking about the warehouse itself might misdirect you, but I see it was pointless. Then you did find something. Very well, I will tell you and only you.
Actually,
Last night I saw her here. Chihiro was in the warehouse. Really?
indeed.
This was right before nighttime. That's true. I think when I talked to her, she was like looking around for something.
What are you doing out this late?
Oh, I was just...
Are you planning to go exercise, perhaps?
What? How did you know?
Because I can see a blue track jacket sticking out of that duffel bag you're carrying.
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Well, I'd better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
Yes, indeed.
I assumed she was merely stocking up to go exercise in the morning, but it would appear she ignored the nighttime rule and headed directly to the girls' locker room. If she hadn't broken our rule, none of this would ever have happened. You get what you deserve, I suppose. Fuck you, Celeste. No. So apparently, she went to the girls' locker room late at night in order to exercise without anyone knowing. But the strange thing is, there was not one trace of the track jacket or duffel bag Celeste said that Chihiro was carrying, which would mean the killer would have gotten rid of it somehow. Oh, Hina, how's Choco doing? Same as before, she won't come out, and she just keeps on mumbling about something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimmy, and I was getting pretty hungry.
Yeah!
Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating?
Huh?
A donut, of course. Of course. There are two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts! Really? I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. I should have tried to spend more time with her. I feel the same way. Come to think of it, who did she spend time with?
Well...
Yeah, she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with any of the other girls much. It was like she was trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like she stayed away from all the girls. Was she just shy? I don't know, she talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite sex? Not really, because I'm kind of the same way. I have a really hard time talking with girls most of the time. I don't know why, I'm just kind of afraid of other girls, I guess, but with guys, I don't really feel uncomfortable, because I don't feel like they judge me as hard. Wait, maybe. Maybe she was just used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Begin the class trial, or... It's about to begin. The red door is right through here.